Dispatches from Ukraine. Day 481. As Russia's attack on Ukraine continues and the war rages on, reliable sources of information are critical. Forbes gathers information and provides updates on the situation. Kherson region. The city of Kherson suffered extensive artillery strikes on June 16, authorities said. The Russian army targeted residential buildings, medical and educational facilities, and power lines in the city's Tavria and Korabel districts. Officials reported 23 residents injured, with 3 victims in critical condition. Kharkiv region. A civilian car was shelled on June 17 near the village of Huryev Kozachok, Regional Governor Oleg Syniubov said in a social media post. An anti-tank guided missile hit the vehicle as it was moving toward the village. According to preliminary reports, 4 passengers on board died instantly. This is yet another act of terror against the civilian population, Syniubov declared. Armed Forces of Ukraine, AFU, Commander Oleksandr Tarnavsky said Ukraine successfully carried out a large-scale counteroffensive near Tavria, Zaporizhia region, on June 18. Russian unconfirmed losses reached as many as 4 companies, or close to 400 soldiers, dead or wounded. In addition, Tarnavsky said the operation destroyed 77 Russian military vehicles, including a Ka-52 helicopter, 24 tanks, a Zala unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, and a Sturm-S anti-tank missile complex. Hungary is ignoring Ukraine's pleas to repatriate prisoners of war transferred from Russia earlier this month, Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesman Oleg Nikolenko said on June 19. After being handed to Budapest by the Russian Orthodox Church, 11 Ukrainian soldiers remain in full isolation. They have no access to media and their short meetings with relatives are monitored. Such actions by Budapest call into question its declared humanitarian motives for the transfer of Ukrainians to Hungary, Nikolenko wrote. In addition, they can be qualified as a violation of the provisions of the European Convention for the Protection of Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms. An African delegation visited Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, on Friday, June 16, as part of an effort toward a peaceful settlement of the Russia-Ukraine war. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa presented his peace formula at a joint press conference with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, saying his country stands for cessation of hostilities, security guarantees for both countries, free movement of grain and fertilizers and comprehensive prisoner-of-war exchange. Meanwhile, Kyiv came under Russian fire shortly after the distinguished delegation's arrival. Ukraine's Air Force reported 6 incoming ballistic and cruise missiles. Putin builds confidence by launching the largest missile attack on Kyiv in weeks, Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba tweeted, exactly amid the visit of African leaders to our capital. Russian missiles are a message to Africa. Russia wants more war, not peace. With the NATO summit in Vilnius, Lithuania, approaching, the Polish Sejm, or lower house of parliament, adopted a resolution supporting Ukraine's full-fledged membership in the alliance on June 16. Speaking to German weekly newspaper Welt am Sonntag, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg revealed the Allies' plan to announce a new assistance package for Ukraine in July that would bring the country's capabilities closer to NATO standards in the years to come. Ukraine's future is in NATO, he said. However, now the priority for Ukraine is to establish itself as a sovereign and independent state, otherwise there can be no question of membership. We must make sure that when this war is over, there are credible arrangements for Ukraine's security so that Russia cannot rearm and attack again, and the cycle of Russian aggression is broken. The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, in partnership with other benefactors, is to accumulate $1 billion for Ukraine's reconstruction, Ukraine Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal said on June 17 after meeting with the program's administrator Achim Steiner in Kyiv. Ukraine's urgent reconstruction and deepening needs were discussed, as well as support for forcibly relocated businesses. I am grateful to the United Nations Development Programme for its consistent assistance throughout the full-scale war, Shmyhal said, and for facilitating the implementation of the government's recovery priorities.